What's good, everybody? It's the Cloud with Cap show. We're going to talk a little bit about the UFC and how far the UFC's come. We have to dating back from the UFC 1. To me, that they had divisions where we had a 175 pounder fighting a 400 pounder, and they'd have to win multiple fights in one night. To me, that's insane to me. It's now UFC today's divisions, weight divisions, class divisions, matching up one fight, one night. Not where they have to fight multiple fights in one night. I think it's great. UFC's really blown up in the past decade. I would say the past 10 years is really when it blew up. And to me, we've seen stars like Chuck Liddell. Really, Chuck Liddell was the first biggest star in UFC to really make it popular, to people to really tune in. Guys like Chuck Liddell, guys like my personal favorite Rampage Jackson, which beat Chuck Liddell, was a superstar at one point. Then we have guys like Anderson Silva that changed the game for the better. We've seen the superstars. Even Ronda Rousey in the past decade, to me, changed the dynamic of the sport. She was only on top for a couple years, but to me, the way she did it, definitely being a female athlete, gave female athletes, a chance to be like, wow, I could really make it in the UFC. Gave them inspiration. But ultimately, I think the biggest UFC stars in the past 10 years to me has been Jon Jones and Conor McGregor. We've seen it over and over again, especially Jon Jones. And to me, I personally think Jon Jones is the best UFC fighter. His only loss was an illegal elbow. To me, Jon Jones is legit. Yes, he's gotten some trouble. Same thing with McGregor. They've kind of got veered off the path for a while, but now they're on back with the path. And I like where Jon Jones fighting heavyweight. I even see Jon Jones going down to light heavyweight and maybe controlling two divisions, kind of like what McGregor does. To me, these guys right here, Jon Jones and McGregor, they are the difference makers. They are the biggest UFC stars today. They are, and they have been for the past 5 to even, we could even say Jones for the 10 years. I believe Jones' first fight came in back in the 2012, somewhere around that, around the early 2010 marks, somewhere in between there. But ever since Jon Jones came into the UFC, I said, whoa, this guy, he can throw elbows, he can kick you. There's just so many tools Jon Jones can do to beat you. Dude, Jon Jones really doesn't have many weaknesses. And to me, I think ultimately Jon Jones can only beat himself. Same thing with McGregor. We see the fight last weekend where McGregor just McGregor doesn't have to beat you with his left and right hand. He can leg kick you. He can shoulder you. There's just so many ways McGregor and Jon Jones can win. And we've seen a lot of stars come and go, like Rousey, like I was saying. But overall, to me, I think UFC is blowing up. It's becoming more popular. It's becoming like the NFL, the NFL, the NBA of America now. It's becoming more globalized. People are watching it from all over the world. And to me, I think it's great. I think it's great for sports. Definitely me being a big-time sports fan. But overall, I think, going into this decade now, 2020 and all the way to 2030, I believe McGregor and Jon Jones will still dominate the UFC. And when I say dominate, I say, there will be multiple divisions where they keep winning. And to me, look what McGregor's done. McGregor's story's great. Won multiple belts. Used to be a plumber. To me, overall, his story's insane. And he's a smart businessman. To me, that's really what separates him from a lot of most of the fighters, and ever in history. And what separates him, he's the cash cow of the UFC. He's the Floyd Mayweather of the UFC. When we're talking numbers like that. But overall, it's crazy to me how much revenue McGregor's making. And I believe the second highest paid is probably Jon Jones, I would assume, because Jon Jones, he's the best. I really do. I used to say Anderson Silva was the greatest. I'm saying Jon Jones is the greatest right now. To me, I just think no one could really beat him. Yeah, there's a couple young cats coming up, but they're gonna have to prove to me that they can knock out Jon Jones. And we've seen this time again where people think they can beat Jon Jones. Say this, say that. Yes, he got into some trouble. To me, the steroid use, there was no proof that he was taking steroids. I didn't really like that. It was mainly different types of drugs. But to me, overall, I think we're seeing the biggest stars shine, like McGregor. And people people can hate and say, well, he knocked him out in only 40 seconds. This guy's trash. Cowboy. He has most records fights, most leg kicks. To me, he had hold so many records. So to me, it's just like, wow, dude. McGregor, it really is legit. And to me, I think McGregor's next move, fight somebody before the summer. To me, my prediction is fight Diaz. I want to see get that round 3, that rubber match. I want to see McGregor fight Diaz before the summer. Then if McGregor does win, then he gets his second crack at Khabib more towards the winter of next year. Before the new year, before 2021. Get 3 fights under your belt. But I do want to see the Diaz rematch. I think most people want to see that. And to me, the first time McGregor and Diaz fall, lot. McGregor was heavy favorite, and Diaz rear naked choked McGregor, made him tap out. So to me, that it was just a great fight, and Diaz obviously lost the second time, although I think it was more of a draw, or even Diaz won, but they'll give it to McGregor because it's going to make more money in the long run. And I do expect McGregor wanting to fight Diaz again for round 3, and I do believe that'll be the biggest UFC pay-per-view fight. I really do. If McGregor fights Diaz this summer, or even before the summer, I think that'll be the biggest fight. And to me, Jon Jones, what's next for Jon Jones? Yes, he's fighting coming up in February. To me, he will get another win. To me, it's really who wants Jon Jones. That's what it comes down to. Who wants Jon Jones? One of the new cats, go get Jon Jones then. We seen these new cats fight not superstars yet. So to me, if you're going to become the best, fight the best and fight Jon Jones. I want to see it in the UFC, but to me, starting from UFC 1 to 175 pounds to 400 pounds fighting. To me, it's been amazing how far the UFC has come. We've seen UFC's legends like Randy Couture, like I said, Chuck Liddell. There's so many UFC legends that paved the way today for a Jon Jones, for a Conor McGregor, even for Ronda Rousey. To me, we've seen stars come and go in the UFC, but I think ultimately UFC's taken off. And to me, I love it. I love where they're going, but the top dogs right now are Jon Jones and McGregor. Who could knock them out, baby? It's the UFC. Baby, 2020 and beyond. Let's go. It's the Conor with Cap Show.